Welcome, everybody. In today's explainer, we are unlocking one of the absolute most fascinating biological mysteries of the human body, the brain's night shift. I mean, have you ever actually wondered what's going on inside your head when you close your eyes, drift off, and just fall asleep? For the longest time, science thought it pretty much had the answer, but we're about to explore some seriously groundbreaking new research that completely upends our traditional understanding. We're going to look at how we think about sleep, waste clearance, and their massive connection to cognitive health and dementia. It is just a brilliant piece of biological engineering happening right inside our own skulls. So get ready to look at your bedtime routine in a completely new light.
Okay, let's dive into this with a really compelling question. Why do stress, aging, and poor sleep all increase dementia risk? Now, at first glance, those things might seem entirely disconnected, right? Like, what does the totally natural process of getting older have to do with having a super stressful job or struggling with insomnia night after night, especially when it comes to developing something as devastating as cognitive decline? It's kind of like a giant puzzle that has challenged the medical community for years. When you look at this list of risk factors, chronic stress, depression, cardiovascular disease, fragmented sleep, aging, it practically reads like a checklist of modern health struggles. Millions of us deal with one or more of these every single day. But according to a fascinating new review published in the journal Science by University of Rochester medicine neuroscientist Dr. Micah Nettergaard, these incredibly diverse conditions actually all converge on one single biological problem. They aren't just isolated random issues, they all negatively impact the exact same hidden mechanism inside your head.
Section 1, sleep is not inactive.
So for literally decades, scientists, doctors, and, well, the rest of us thought of sleep primarily as a quiet period. A passive resting state strictly meant for memory consolidation and general restoration. Like your brain just powers down to recharge the batteries. But this new breakthrough completely flips that consensus on its head. Sleep is actually a highly organized, rhythmic, fluid transport state. Actually, scratch the whole resting idea. It's a highly active, dynamic mechanical process that is absolutely essential for our survival.
Just listen to this quote directly from the lead neuroscientist of this research, Dr. Nettergaard. Sleep is not a quiet or inactive state. During sleep, the brain shifts into a coordinated rhythm that appears to support one of its most important housekeeping functions. You got to think of it like a biological night shift. The exact moment you fall into deep sleep, your brain's janitorial staff essentially clocks in, grabs their mops, and starts doing this massive deep clean of the premises while the rest of you is totally passed out.
Section 2, the brain's plumbing system. Let's zoom in on how this actually works. 2012. Now, that really wasn't that long ago. Just over a decade ago, this entirely new understanding of the brain was sparked by a transformational discovery in Dr. Nettergaard's lab. Before 2012, we were pretty much in the dark about how the brain handled its own microscopic waste. That was the year everything changed for neuroscience. And that transformational discovery was the glymphatic system. Basically, it's a brain-wide network that circulates cerebrospinal fluid through tissues surrounding blood vessels to help remove metabolic waste. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that this complex, microscopic plumbing network is mostly active only during sleep. When you're awake, walking around, doing your thing, this system is largely turned off. It is the central cleaning mechanism for our central nervous system, and it quite literally demands that we are asleep to function properly.
Section 3, powering the wash cycle. Let's look under the hood.
Okay, so let's walk through the exact mechanics of this incredible chain reaction. Step 1, neuromodulators. These are your brain chemicals like norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. They sync into these slow, repeating oscillations. Step 2, that chemical synchronization causes the blood vessels in your brain to rhythmically change size. Step 3, that physical movement acts exactly like a pump, pushing cerebral spinal fluid straight through the brain tissue. And finally, step 4, toxic proteins are successfully washed away. And I really want you to appreciate this. This biological wash cycle happens roughly every single minute during non-REM sleep. It's just a continuous, rhythmic pulsing all night long.
I do want to clarify step 2 from that previous sequence because it is an absolute mechanical marvel. This process is called vasomotion. As you can see, these are slow, rhythmic changes in blood vessel size that physically push the cerebrospinal fluid through the brain. But here's the kicker. This works entirely independently of the heart's pumping action. Your heart isn't doing this. This is a separate physical engine altogether, a localized, rhythmic squeezing of the blood vessels driving a dedicated cleaning process right inside your skull. It's a perfectly synchronized dance between your brain chemistry and vascular movement.
So the crucial point is, what exactly is this system washing away? Toxic proteins, specifically amyloid beta and tau. Now, these are not just your average harmless metabolic byproducts. In the world of neuroscience, these specific toxic proteins are notorious. They are the exact biological culprits deeply associated with Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and other forms of dementia. Getting them out of your brain every night is absolutely critical for your long-term cognitive health. Which brings us right back to our opening mystery, doesn't it? How do those wildly different conditions all cause dementia? Dr. Niedergaard connects the dots for us perfectly right here. Many disorders that increase dementia risk also disrupts the brain's sleep rhythms. Our work suggests these may not be separate phenomena. They may be connected through the brain's ability to clear waste during sleep. Think of this as the grand unified theory of our explainer today. When you experience aging, cardiovascular disease, depression, or chronic stress, you are essentially breaking your brain's wash cycle. The vasomotion stops working efficiently, the plumbing stalls out, and those toxic amyloid beta and tau proteins are left trapped in the brain to cause damage.
Section 4, a wearable warning sign. Enter heart rate variability, or HRV. This measures the very subtle, microscopic changes in the timing between your individual heartbeats. And what researchers have discovered here is just mind-blowing. These tiny heart rate fluctuations during sleep appear to be closely tied to the exact same neuromodulator rhythms occurring up in the brain. The heartbeat literally mirrors the brain's internal cleaning cycle. This is a massive breakthrough, folks, because it means we finally have a potential non-invasive biomarker. By tracking your heart rate variability, medical professionals, and honestly, even you, might be able to track your brain's sleep-related health and cleaning efficiency without needing any invasive procedures or crazy expensive brain scans. Which leads us to this final super powerful question to chew on. Could your smartwatch be the key to predicting and protecting your brain's nightly wash cycle? Because everyday consumer wearables can already track heart rate variability, we're looking at a very real future where the watch currently sitting on your wrist might identify your risk for cognitive decline years or even decades before any actual symptoms appear. It gives us this incredible window into our brain's housekeeping, empowering all of us to prioritize our sleep and protect our minds. It's a pretty profound thought to end on. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember to value that nightly wash cycle. Rest well and keep learning.